I don't see your face yet.
Yeah, you're not going to see my face yet. Let's see if people can see me first. Is anybody here? Can you guys hear me? Are people here? Do you see the page?
Okay.
Is anybody there?
No, I don't see.
We have to make sure people are here first before we get started. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think 24 people are watching. Can you guys let me know if you guys are here, please? I gotta know if you guys are here. Oh, Willie says yes. They're here. They're here. Willie said he is here. And let's see. Hi, Clayton. Hi, Adam. Hi, Demeter. Well, that's his last name. Sidhu, Devin is here. Clayton is here. Willie is here. So I'm just going to remind people one more time because I feel like, you know, a lot of things went wrong. So I just want to make sure that everybody got my message. So let's just do one more time here. Hold on just a second. Forms. And hi Neha, hi King Daka. Holy crap, King Daka. King Daka. Alright, let's see. Next step. All right, I just reminded everybody, so they should be getting the notification now. But let's see how many people we have so far. We have 33 people watching and increasing. So I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes, okay? About 5 minutes before I get started with our webinar here, okay? So 35. Probably not a lot of people are gonna show up because we ended up taking, you know, I was trying to take it in a more casual way because last two launches, you know, it was really hectic, but I think we went a little too far, so we forgot to notify people on time, so people are late, but that's okay because we have people here. We have Dave, we have Adam, we have Alex, we have Otek. Tenzin updated his hair to version 2.0 as Jap Jap. That's funny. That is funny. Guys, should I have gotten that haircut or should I have kept the last, like my haircut to the last version, you know, the long hair Tenzin? Hi, Pooja. Okay, we have 40 people watching now. What's going on?
I can see the chat box.
You can't?
No.
Okay, can you guys see the chat box on the website? Refresh it. Can you guys confirm with me if you guys can see the chat box? Because Amir here is saying that he can't see the chat box. And I am not so sure why that's the case because it should be working. You've got to show us a before and after. Well, for before, you have to watch my, my recent videos because they're all with long hair. I try to grow out my hair. I don't know how girls do it. It's so hard to like maintain a long hair. Yep, it's here. Chat box is here. They said chat box is there. That's weird. Yeah, I can see the chat box, man.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing it.
Just go on YouTube. Click on the YouTube link. No, not there, not there. Go back on the link yep, right there, and you'll see the chat box on the right. Yeah, exactly. Disable those. I moved to YouTube too. I moved to YouTube as well. Yeah, if you guys are using some sort of extension, then what you want to do is disable those extensions, or you can just like go on YouTube right away because that's way more consistent. And as programmers, we want to be consistent, okay? Our algorithm, our recipe has to be consistent. The struggle is real. Chatbox is not working on Chrome or Firefox. Yeah, some people have, because of their extensions or whatever, it's not working. For me, it's working. For a lot of people, it's working. And for some people, it's not working. So just go on YouTube on that link. Click on the link, the video. You'll see a YouTube link right there at the top. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, if you just click on that bar, it'll take you directly to YouTube. You shouldn't go to YouTube and search What's Dev because it's unlisted. Okay, this is only for people who are in the waitlist. Okay, the VIP waitlist, webinar waitlist, right? The launch waitlist. Hello, Adair, Ardor. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hey, Otak, Anna, we have Vineet, we have Femi. Maximize the screen to use it. We have Ahmed. Yeah, YouTube is working for me. So yeah, if YouTube is working for you guys, just stay on YouTube. And later on, you want to come back to it because you'll see the link down on the page, not on YouTube. So just come back later. But for now, being on YouTube is fine. Okay, so Matt is here. Alex, Clayton, Jefferson. We have Snuck. Come on, Tenzin, fire it up. Come on, man. My name is not spelled T-A-N, okay? It's T-E-N, and it's not Z-E-N, it's D-I-N. All right? Get it right, Snuck. Come on. Fresh haircut. Thank you. Yeah, my friend has launched a product called the Flux Pomade. Okay, his channel is called Project Alpha, and he does a lot of skincare stuff. And yeah, I started using that. It's a phenomenal product. Let me tell you that. I don't usually use product at all, but once I got that, I'm like, I have to use it. Okay, let's rock this. Nazreen is here. Andrew is here. Oleg is here. How many people do we have? 61 people so far, okay? I think I'm just gonna start now because it's been like, what, 5 minutes already? And people who are not here, and if they're not on the wait list, they're just not gonna be able to watch it, but if they're on the wait list, then I'll be sending them an email later with the replay link. But, you guys are gonna have some bonuses, unlike the other people who didn't show up, all right? Okay, so I'm just gonna put that window to the side here so I can still see your chat. And while that is happening, let's make sure we have everything else set up correctly. Okay. What are people saying? Let's see. Pop out chat. Haircut is interesting. Interesting? What are those characters? Russian? He says haircut is interesting. Is that good? Like interesting in a good way or interesting in a bad way? Are we going to be making anything? Can you please make a replay of the webinar at the end of session? Yes, I will make a replay, but only if you're on the wait list, you'll get the emails. but you're not going to get the bonuses, and you know, if you think the bonuses are worth it, that is. But we have Jefferson 61. Neha is there. Tokyo, Alex, Mr. Lord. Hi, Mr. Lord. My Lord. I have a question. I still don't understand where we learn JS. You will understand by the end of this video, okay? And you guys get to ask me all the questions. So whatever questions you guys have, just shoot my way and I'll answer it for you guys. How many people do we have? I think I'm just gonna start now.
63.
Okay. Zulfikar. I'm just butchering your name, but hey, Russian, yes. Yeah, my friend is half Russian, half Ukrainian. Yeah, I always make fun of him, and he always teaches like really bad words in like Russian and Ukrainian. I shouldn't say it. Matt goes, I love Clockley. I'm glad you liked it. It's been a while. Okay. All right. Alex Lee goes, how long is this? This is going to be about 40 minutes long, and then we're going to go into the Q&A section, okay? So I'm not going to take any more of your time. Let's just get into it, okay?
Can't see you,
and then what I will do is, hold on. What I will do is, hold on just a second. You guys can't see me for some reason. All right. You guys can see me now. Okay. So we're going to get started now. So what I'm going to do is switch the camera to my PowerPoint slide. I'm not going to stick to the slide so much, but the slide is there so that I don't deviate away too much from what we're here for. And you guys know what we're here for, right? The JavaScript version 2 launch. Okay, if you guys don't know what we're here for. But the slides are there for, you know, because I go on tangents for too long, and I'm just trying to avoid that, okay? All right, so I'm going to switch the screen to my PowerPoint slide now. So that's going to be happening in 3, 2, 1. Here it is. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? If you can't hear me, or the audio is too loud or too, you know, soft, just let me know, and then we'll fix it. Because if you guys can't hear it, there's really no point of doing this. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let me know if the people are saying, like, you know, chat is good or chat is bad. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Okay. Welcome to JavaScript version 2 launch. Okay. And the focus of this launch or this webinar, okay, yes, I'm trying to sell you my product, and yes, I would like you to, you know, be a part of the JavaScript team. However, it doesn't matter if you think JJJ is not for you, okay? The point of this webinar is if you can take, okay, if I can help even one person out there with anything in any way, then that's a big W for me. Okay, so I want you to, you know, even if the product is not for you, even if you're here not for the product, let's have fun. And by the end, you'll get to ask me all the questions, and you know, I'll try to help as much as I can. Okay, all right, so let's keep going. And I'll try to keep it short because usually I tend to keep things, you know, make things and expand things way too much. And yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid that as much as I can. And try to stick around to the end because you'll get the opportunity to snatch up some bonuses, okay? So stick around to the end, and the bonuses are going to be, the bonus number 1 is this theme, okay? And this is this is a very special thing for me because, what was that?
Slides are not centered.
Slides are not centered. My friend says slides are not centered. That is really weird. Can you ask in the chat how the slides are? Are the slides centered for you guys?
Everyone's saying it's not.
Oh, that is not good. That is definitely not good. Why is the slides not centered?
Now I guess now it looks good, but it's still.
Yeah, why are the slides not centered? Hold on just a second, guys. We have some technical. I don't know what is going on, but this happens every time. every time we try to do this, that's what happens. So let's see if this fixed it. I'm going to test it one more time. Okay, I think I fixed it. It should be fixed now. Yeah, I think I fixed it. That's okay. All right, so this theme right here, right? And this is very special for me because this is way back in like 2014, and this helped me land my very first freelancing client. Okay, so you guys get this for free, and you guys can use it any way you want. Okay, this is your 100% free, and you can take it and edit and sell it if you want to. Doesn't matter with me. Okay, another one is this theme here. This is a little bit more recent theme. Not really recent. It's still like a few years ago, a good few years ago. But with this theme, I actually landed my very first job. Okay, like an actual developer job. I didn't need it at the time, and there's a really funny story to it. But I don't want to go into that story because that's going to take up the whole webinar just for that. So I'll be sending you that story in one of the emails, or I'll make a YouTube video on it. But it's a really funny story. I quit that job in like within a week. But yeah, again, we're not going to go into it. All right? You're like, why? But yeah, this is the job portfolio, and I had to write it in like a few hours. I couldn't. I didn't have any time. Let's be honest here. I was just procrastinating. Okay. But it got me a job, so it's tested, it's vetted, so you can just use this to, for your portfolio or whatever. You can tweak it, you can tweak the colors to blue or whatever you want, right? All right, so that's that. And bonus number 3, I will reveal it. Okay, I didn't think about that in the beginning when I first started thinking about doing the slides, but then I'm just like, you know what? I want some human connection, and I'm not going to reveal it right now. I just gave you a hint, but I'm not going to reveal it right now. I'll reveal it towards the end when we get to the Q&A section, okay? All right. Hi, my name is Tenzin, if you didn't know, okay? And this is me, okay? This is a very old picture of me. And I am a full stack developer, a JavaScript full stack developer. Yes, I've learned a lot of languages, but primarily JavaScript is the language for me, okay? And the reason why I started JavaScript and the reason why I started What's Dev is because, first of all, my friend, inspired me because he's like, well, you're already coaching a lot of people one-on-one and in groups. Why not just start a YouTube channel and make a greater impact, right? And you know what? I said, let's do it. And I was really frustrated with the industry as a learner, right? You guys probably saw, if you haven't, just go on the javascript.com homepage and you'll hear my, my whole story, okay? Not my whole story, but a part of it. And I was very frustrated when I was learning, and I quit many times, failed many times. And even when I made it to the other side, I was really frustrated with the people, with how the industry was working and just the courses and everything, okay? But yeah, that's why I started, and now we have over 12,000 students enrolled in our free courses and our paid courses. A small portion of that is in our paid courses. And then we have, let's see, okay, so a little bit more about me. So aside from being a developer, aside from me being passionate about coding and teaching, I also like playing the guitar. I also like playing, the piano, and I am also into music, and I'm also into business, and I like to, do everything. And ever since, high school, ever since I was little, I've always been business minded. And even when I was, starting this thing as a programming thing, I started, getting into entrepreneurship even before that, and I started using that to land freelancing clients and all that stuff. So, that's a little bit about me. I struggled a lot learning web development, specifically JavaScript, and I found a hole in the market. So yeah, that's really it, right? JavaScript is the foundational language for the web, and everybody has to learn it. and I was going through a lot of, I was going through a lot of things, and it was really painful when I started learning this and getting into this field. And I thought I was alone in the beginning, but slowly I realized that we're more connected than we think. We, as humans, we're just in a loop, in this constant loop. And whatever I'm going through, someone else is definitely going through that, right? As much as we like to think that our situations are very unique, or it's the saddest or the worst or the best, there's thousands, if not millions, of other people with the same situations, going through the same struggles, going through the same pains. And once I found that out, I'm like, I know something that can fix a lot of people's problem, right? And that's why I started What's Dev. That's why I started teaching, and I loved it, right? And when I started JavaScript, my purpose, okay? A lot of people out there try to do everything and get nothing done, but I just wanted to focus on one thing, and that was JavaScript, okay? So I found a hole in the market, and I just went in it. So some of my burning pains when I started learning to code was I knew how to write code that worked, right? But they were terribly written. And worse, I didn't really even know why they were terribly written. I just knew they weren't good. And constantly, I had so many questions. Like, I had so many questions. Some of these questions are like, how do I get really good? Like, how do I know when I'm good? How much is enough? How many hours should I be spending? Like, should I be learning Python or JavaScript? Should I be learning PHP? Because some people say PHP is the way to go if you want jobs, right? But then some people say you can do everything with JavaScript. And then some people say C++ is everything and you can do everything with C++. So it was a very confusing time, right? And a lot of people, I know for a fact, everybody goes through that, okay? And another big question I had was, what's the path to mastery? And when is it enough to land a job or a client, right? Because we're so scared. I was so scared to apply for a job or a client because of rejection, because I'm like, I don't know enough. Do I know enough? Do I, am I good enough? I haven't learned this library, so probably nobody's gonna hire me. Like, all these self-limiting beliefs I had was stopping me from progressing, right? So these were some of my burning pains that I put down here on the slides, but I had so many more, okay? And on top of that, there were a lot of lies in the industry, right? And with courses like build 43 projects, build 20 projects, build 12 projects with HTML, CSS, Sass, JS, jQuery, React, Bootstrap, Node, Python, SQL, Mongo, PHP, blah, 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 blah. And on top of that, in 6 months, in 3 months, guaranteed, like so much of that, right? And they were all bullshit, okay? It was a straight up lie, and I didn't know at the time, but later I slowly started realizing that it was just a lie covered up, disguised in like really technical terms. And yeah, it's just hiding under like really pleasing words, like catchy words like, oh, get a job in 3 months, or build 43 projects, or become a full stack developer, bootcamp. Like, it was so bad, okay? It was so bad. I took everything there was. I took all the resources, okay? The only course you need to learn web development. I'm sure you guys have seen these courses, right? There's no course, okay? No one course, no one book, no one of anything is gonna land you your first job. It's nothing of one thing is gonna help you, okay? Because in life, success is not very linear. It's very messy. The way to go, the way to achieve success, you have to fail a lot. You have to, you have to fall a lot before you can stand back up. And after only standing back up so many times, can you achieve success? Okay, so I took all the courses out there, full web development package and land your first job, right? How to learn web development and start your own freelancing agency. Oh, this is a good one. I fell for this hard, okay? Because I wanted to start my own freelancing agency, and because I was so business-minded, I'm like, wow, I get to start my own freelancing agency? I'm gonna be my own CEO of my own agency, right? So I had all these dreams, and people, like all these courses and all these people who were trying to sell this just went for me, okay? And it worked, okay? All the tactics worked. You name it, I took them, and they all worked, right? But the problem was, some of my more pains was even after going through a lot of the courses, okay? My problem with them was so many courses, in so many courses, instructors avoided advanced stuff, okay? They would only cover the basics, and even the projects or the problems that they would teach you how to solve, taught me how to solve. It was all like surface level stuff, right? Nothing deep, nothing worthwhile, nothing that I can just show at a job. Like I can just confidently show at an interview or to a recruiter and explain to them why it's awesome, and be able to like have the ability to be passionate about something you built. But very rarely was I ever doing that, because all the stuff that I was building, all the problems that I was solving was just copy pasted code from the instructor without and the worst thing was they would always make it sound so easy. It's like that. I wish if that I could go back and change one of the things, okay, that would be one. Like they would make it sound things like everything's sounds so easy. It's like, oh, you just need to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you'll get it. You'll get a job. They'll give you a leeway because you're a beginner. Let me tell you something. Companies who are going to hire you, they are businesses. Okay, they are a business, and businesses need to make money. Okay, if you don't bring any value to the table, they're not going to hire you. Okay, of course there are exceptions to this rule, right? But the world doesn't run on exceptions. Okay, like in programming, in computers, we have space and time complexity in computer science. Okay, for an algorithm to be effective, it needs to pass scalability. It needs to be scalable, right? And there's so many people on YouTube, if you go, they'll tell you things like, land a job in 3 months. It's like they make it sound so easy. And it could be that they landed a job in 3 months or 2 months, just studying, less than 20 hours a week. But you can't tell that to the masses and say it's totally possible, because when you scale that recipe, it's a recipe for disaster. For most people, it doesn't work like that. You can get a job in 3 months if you are willing to spend at least 10 to 15 hours every single day. And that's not the case, right? That's not a possibility for most people. So there's no point of making that kind of video, or it's just a brainwash, okay? Another thing was instructors sucked at teaching, okay? I'm probably ranting here a little bit, but I'm probably speaking from like really strong emotions, but that's because it was painful, okay? It was really, really painful at that time in my life. In the story, in the future emails, in the next few days, I'll be sending a lot of my, what I went through, the mistakes I made, and you'll realize, what I'm talking about. But it was so bad because instructors sucked at teaching. They were lazy. They didn't care enough. And like for example, right, Udemy. If you just browse through Udemy, you will see that courses are very alike. And all the copies, all the writings, they're very similar because they're trying to make as much money possible, right? Because they have to get a lot of money. They have to get a lot of students in order to make some money, right? And they'll be targeting like people who think they have to, oh my God, you can learn all these technologies, like build 43 projects. Oh my God, I can definitely land a job after that, right? Wrong, right? Was there for the money? Projects were boring, unimpressive and poorly designed. And another thing was, again, try to cover everything and ended up getting nothing done well. Okay, so as the human that I was, I quit. Okay, and I quit many times. But I knew I wanted to code. Okay, so I started again. But again, I went through the same thing, the same process, and let me tell you something. History repeats itself way too much, right? History never lies, and it just repeats itself way too much. So I quit again and again and again, okay? 2 months later, I quit again. And then I would start again after like a couple of months, couple of weeks, and I would start again, and I quit again. At least 10 to 12 times, okay? At least. And I'm being very conservative here. I'm not even exaggerating one bit. Like, for example, right? I did the JavaScript track on Code Academy at least 7 times. Just the JavaScript part. Let's not talk about Java and Python and the HTML, CSS, the project sections, right? Just on Code Academy. I've taken Coursera, edX, like MIT, everything, okay? Everything. And, right, yeah, I have it here. I remember doing Code Academy JavaScript track multiple times thinking that would help, right? I thought, maybe if I just do it one more time, then I would really understand JavaScript, right? Then I would really understand what I'm doing. Because I just couldn't understand for the life of me how a for loop or an if statement or these algorithms translates to like these production, like these sexy production apps, right? Nobody could explain to me. And a lot of people, developers, okay, they would just, a lot of them just acted like so elitist. And instead of getting to my level and having enough empathy to get to my level and trying to explain in a way that I can understand, they would just say things like, yeah, just go through a book. Or, yeah, you need a lot of data structures and algorithms. Yeah, algorithms are very important. Oh yeah, you need to learn the, you know, they would say such esoteric things. Like I would ask them what a data structure is, and instead of making it like using analogies or metaphors to explain to me, they would use all these technical terms, and I would just go, yep, I would just nod and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. It didn't make sense at all, okay? So I was going through a lot of things, and you know, I thought this would help, going through JavaScript track multiple times, going through the same course multiple times, but it didn't. It just repeated the same thing again and again, okay? So the cycle continued, right? The cycle continued, but some force, okay, just kept pulling me back into, you know, doing web development, okay? And I tried to go through so many books, and I wasted too much time learning too many languages. Completely unnecessary. I wasted a lot of time here, okay? And I tried to go through every resource out there. CS50, data structures, algorithm, Coursera tracks, Udemy, Code School, you name it, I took them, okay? And at one point in my life, I hit a very, very low point, right? My rock bottom moment. I hit so low that I was sleeping in my car in sub-zero temperatures, okay, in the winter. And I didn't have enough money, so I would not turn on the gas, the heat, right? Because that would waste gas, so I had to save money. And the reason why I had to save money is because I had to drive my sister to school in the morning around 6:45 a.m. every day, right? Every weekday. And honestly, that was the only part of the day that I would look forward to. That was the only part of the day, because at least I kept telling myself, at least I'm a brother. At least I'm doing that. Even though I've failed in all the businesses that I've tried, even though I kept quitting in programming, and I just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but at least I'm a brother, right? At least I'm a brother. But even then, one day, I'm driving her to school, okay? and we're taking the same path, the same directions, passing through the same street. And right before getting to her school, about a quarter mile from her school, we have to stop at a red light, right? The light changes to red and we stop. And, the same usual people just pass to get to the school, or, just the same, like the traffic controller is there. And, after the traffic controller, she was an old lady, and she was in her mid-40s or something, and she was very vibrant and like one of those people who always smile and would just brighten up your day. She was one of those. And she walked to the side after she directed the traffic, and the light turned green, right? And the next moment, I know I'll go into this story more in depth in one of the emails, but long story short, I had run out of gas. And let me tell you something, right? A lot of people out there are probably thinking, that's nothing, man, first world problems, or, it's not a big deal. Why is he making it such a big deal? And for that, I would say it's not about what happens to you, because here's the thing. There's always going to be somebody, there's always going to be a sadder story. There's always going to be a better story, right? It's all relative, right? But for me, at that point in my life, running out of gas and having to let my sister walk to her school, and watching her as she walked to school, and she knew what was going on. And she's the most understanding, she was the only person who truly knew what I was going through and what I was feeling. And, that day, I told myself, I'm not even a brother. I can't even be a proper brother. I can't even drive her to school in the morning. That the only thing that, that was my last hope. And that was gone. Okay, so at that point, my survival instincts kicked in. Okay, I was literally doing it to survive, right? So I started doing everything to make money, like little part-time jobs here and there. And after that, I told myself that same day, I told myself that I wouldn't do anything else but code and pursue web development. And my ultimate goal was to become a full stack web developer. So after that point, every day, my schedule was simple. Eat, sleep, code. And the eating and sleeping part, not so much. I had very poor diet and barely slept. And basically, I was a living zombie who knew how to code, okay? And I was surviving on Red Bull, Monster, and coffee, like multiple cups of coffee. And I would spend like 10 to 15 hours easy, 15 hours on average. And sometimes I would go like 24 or 36 hours with just an hour of nap. And Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks became my second and third office, okay? Like my second and third home. I would spend all my time there, okay? And it was a very, very dark period in my life, but it was the best thing that happened to me, right? In retrospect, when you have made it, everything, all the worst times, all the difficult times become, the most proudest moments, right? So right now, looking back, it's easy to say, but at that time, it was very, very hard, okay? But after a few months of that, okay, 46 months of that, after spending well over 1,000 hours, I felt like I finally understood JavaScript, okay? Finally. But shortly after, I was wrong yet again. Yes, I was getting better in JavaScript, but I was wrong yet again because I was still taking shortcuts. I was still trying to do, everything with jQuery and not trying to learn JavaScript properly. But I fixed my problem, right? Because now there was no time where I didn't have any excuses, right? I couldn't make any excuses. So I just had to put my head down and start grinding, okay? Start grinding. And after getting humbled countless times, things slowly started making sense, okay? okay? Because every time I thought I knew this concept in JavaScript or web development, like next thing I knew, like I wasn't, okay? I didn't understand it, okay? Now, looking back, I realized that that's just a natural process of learning, right? But at that point in time, I was taking everything so personally and emotionally. But, you know, what's done is done, and things slowly started making sense, and really making sense. And those times, at that time, I was actually going through a book, through like 2 books, cover to cover, okay? JavaScript books. And then, after a few months of that, like after about 2 more months of that, I finally started learning JavaScript the right way, and I understood JavaScript and everything, right? Pretty much the whole web development spectrum. And I realized that I knew that my skills were up to the par with the industry standard, okay? And then I started freelancing. I landed multiple clients. So this is the easy part of the story. So I'm not going to get too much into it because it's, you know, again, this is the happy part, right? There's nothing special about, of course, if you work hard, you're going to get the results. So I started landing multiple clients, and also I got lucky and I worked with a billionaire as well. And it's not a little luck, it's a, you know, huge luck, okay? But you know what they say, the harder you work, the luckier you seem to get, right? And I truly believe that, right? Now I don't work with a billionaire anymore, but I'm not gonna sit here, I'm not gonna make a video on how to work with a billionaire, okay? Because that was all luck. And I started coaching programming to selective students, one-on-one as well, a lot more. And you know, a lot of my students were like boot camper students, people who are going to boot camps, people who are trying to change careers, people who are trying to, you know, like 3 of my students were people who are mastering, who were pursuing masters in software engineering and data science, okay? So I helped all of them throughout their entire degree, like master's degree. And after doing all of that and doing a lot of client work and all that, one day my friend inspires me to start YouTube, and that friend's name is Rafe Kazi, okay? I'm sure you guys know cleverprogrammer.com. And I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted to start YouTube for other things, so why not just start, man? Why not just start, right? Even though I was super uncomfortable with video and all that, I just started. And yes, it was hard in the beginning, but hey, what's not hard, right? Everything you want in life is hard. So I wanted to make a greater impact, and I started, and the rest is history, right? And what I know now is that JavaScript is hard. Easy to get started, but very hard, and harder as you get deeper. Like, for example, Java is a more heavier language, right? You have to write a lot more code to do the same thing as JavaScript. However, as you learn more and more, Java becomes very consistent, and things are just the same, and you're like, okay, that makes sense, and it's very easy because of that. But JavaScript gets trickier and trickier, and that makes it, you know, harder to understand as you get deeper into it, because there's so many ways to do it, right? And the reason why people blame the language, but it's not just about the language, it's the web, right? There's so many moving parts on the web, and it just makes sense why it's that way. And I made all the mistakes in the book and then some more, right? So I don't know why that is under the what I know now section, but again, like I said, this is just here to keep me, you know, on track and not let me go on tangents for too long. So what I also know is that the journey, right, you don't have to go through the same thing that I've been through. Okay, the journey doesn't have to be that freaking hard and long, like 5+ years, right? And most of that wasted by making too many mistakes. Okay, too many mistakes. Okay, so the premise, okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that it's very important when you're trying to get into this field to learn what's actually needed, okay? You don't need to learn 10 different languages. You shouldn't be spending your time on frameworks and libraries. It doesn't matter, okay? Like, it doesn't matter if you lack true understanding of the core JavaScript, if core vanilla JavaScript, right? Doesn't matter React, like Vue doesn't matter, React doesn't matter, Angular doesn't matter, jQuery doesn't matter if you don't understand JavaScript. Okay? Another thing is data structures and algorithms are important. It's very important, okay? But you don't need to go crazy on them like I did. Okay, I went through a whole Java book on data structures and algorithms. And yes, I really understood JavaScript. I'm sorry, not JavaScript, data structures and algorithms, but I didn't need to do that. Okay? I didn't need to do that. I just needed to learn the basics and move on to productive things that move the needle, right? And that's my next point. Only do the things that move the needle. If it's not moving the needle, there's no point in doing them. Okay? All right. And now let's move on. Let's see what I have here. If I could change one thing. All right. So, right, if I could change one thing, if I could go back in time, right? That would be seek mastery. Okay? Seeking mastery. Instead of trying so many things, instead of trying to be good at so many things, pick one and stick with it. That's my mantra, right? I'm sure you guys have heard that in my videos a lot lately, but pick one and stick with it. Because the world pays for people who specialize, okay? The world rewards mastery. And, that's the only thing that works. Yes, generalizing is good if you're in the wild and you have to do a lot of things, but, in this day and age, if you specialize, you're going to be way more successful than, dabbing into too many things, okay? And you can do a lot of things, but you have to start off with a base, the foundation. Who are you, right? So I would say pick JavaScript and seek mastery. So that's if I could go back, right? But I'm not a time traveler, okay? So I can't go back. But I can definitely help people out there who are in the same shoes as I was back then, right? I can't change the past, but I can definitely help you change your future. Okay? So introducing jab, JavaScript. Okay, so you don't have to go through what I went through. So this is my course, right? This is the whole premise of why I started JavaScript. Because I don't want you to go through what I went through, right? You can do everything for free, okay? You don't have to take this premium course. You can do everything for free. In this day and age, everything is out there, right? But you still need guidance, right? And that's why I started JavaScript, right? I could, if I wanted to make a lot of money, I would instead make a course that tries to teach a lot of things and pack a lot of things, like try to sell you a buffet, right? Everybody likes buffet, right? But what happens when you finish eating a buffet, right? 20 minutes after you finish eating a buffet, you're just like, you get this nasty taste in your mouth, right? But what happens when you go to, let's say, a really good restaurant, right? And they give you a little bit, but whatever you eat, you're satisfied with that, right? So that's what I'm going for with JavaScript, okay? It's all about JavaScript. There's not nonsense. That's why I also called it the no bullshit JavaScript course, right? So if you want to learn everything about JavaScript, go on the homepage of JJJ, okay? So you'll find out everything there is to know about JavaScript, and you also get to ask me questions later down the road, okay? I mean, in this webinar at the end, we'll go into the Q&A section. So let's go over what makes this course different. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I already have it on the website, and I'm going to send you emails about this. But let's just go over it really quickly. Project-based. Every single thing you're going to be building has a purpose. Every problem you solve has a purpose. Every algorithmic challenge you implement, it has a purpose, okay? You will have an actual portfolio that's presentable and you're proud of, okay? You can talk about it all day. You'll have the ability and the passion to talk about your projects to any recruiter in interviews or whatever, right? It's very focused. JJJ, Jab Jab JavaScript, is all about mastery, okay? It's about learning JavaScript deeply, okay? Instead of trying to learn everything and not, get nothing, like nothing gets done, right? When you try to do too many things. Specialization. And another thing is it's very adaptive and rapid evolution, right? Just like JavaScript, just like how JavaScript changes and so fast, our course is going to change really fast as well, because I'm taking like instant feedback and I'm changing things instantly, right? And I'm still adding things to the course as we speak today, because Jab Jab JavaScript is not done yet, okay? I'm still adding things to it, and I'm still going to be adding things to it until I get to a point where I say, okay, this is enough. Now I truly believe that, this is at the apex of how great, or, basically what I'm trying to say is ultimately my goal is to make this the best, okay? The best JavaScript course on the planet. And I believe it's already there, but I'm still going to be working towards it, right? My sister always says, if you're good, be better. And if you're better, be best. And then she says something, I forgot, but she tries to motivate me sometimes. And another thing is it's difficult, right? Unlike other courses where it'd say, oh, it's easy, take this course, it's very easy. It's not going to be a smooth sail, okay? But let me tell you something. Nothing's easy, and this course is not easy, but it will be all worth it and very rewarding. Okay, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be rewarding, because I look back on all of my hard times, difficult times, the frustrations that I went through, the sleepless nights that I pulled, the 15+ hours days. But today I'm sitting here and I'm grateful for having the ability, having the passion, having the, I'm grateful that I was so low that my survival instincts kicked in, and it made me who I am today, right? So let's go and talk about what you guys are probably so curious about right now, right? Oh, what's the price for the course? What's the price for the course? So before we get into that, I just want to go over the packages for this course, okay? So the two packages for this course are going to be Pro and Master. The Pro is going to have lifetime access to the Jab Jab JavaScript Pro course, 18+ modules. It's more like 22 now, but I haven't updated this page yet. I mean the slide. 150+ videos, okay? So if you go on the Jab Jab JavaScript right now, it's going to say 120, but I've been adding more videos, and it just doesn't count that. 10+ worksheets, guides, and cheat sheets, and that's growing as well. An exclusive Facebook group, and this Facebook group that I did for the last launch, I realized that it's not as interactive, so I'm going to switch back to Slack. I think that's a lot more interactive, so we're going to start doing Slack instead of Facebook. So exclusive Slack group with motivated learners just like you, okay? These are going to be people who are heavily motivated. It's not just going to be your, let me just try out this course and see how it goes for the first 2 weeks. It's not going to be like that, okay? Because this course is module-based. It's a cohort-based. It has a schedule. It's not like, here, take everything and try to learn. It's every week you're going to get micro, right, very carefully designed module that you can digest, like you can learn, digest, and have enough time to improve on your own as well. Do your own research, right? Because that's the only way you're going to learn. If you're just copy-pasting my code, you're not learning, right? And that's another thing I talk about on the sales page, on the landing page, right? Because I don't want people who think this is a magic pill, because it's not, okay? There's no magic pill here. You still have to do work, but it will definitely shorten your path, and I guarantee you that if you take this course, you won't make the mistakes I made. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So you'll also learn beginner, intermediate to advanced algorithms, right? So the algorithmic challenges, okay? And of course, the fundamentals of JavaScript, that's a given. And more component projects will be added. Oh, that's the V2 updates, right? So again, go to the website and you'll see what I added in version 2. And because version 2 is not done yet, I'm still doing the version 2 launch, right? Because I'm still adding things to the version 2. And the pricing hasn't changed yet because it was supposed to change. The pricing was supposed to go up dramatically this launch. But because I'm not done with version 2 yet, I'm still adding things to it. I'm finalizing things. That's why I haven't changed the price, and you'll see it in a bit. But more component projects will be added, basic API authentication and modular design patterns. Okay, so what can you expect from JJJ Pro? What are the results? So the results are most junior developers in the industry struggle with a lot of concepts we cover in this course, okay, especially recently with the new waves of people switching careers. Okay, you will have a portfolio full of presentable projects written with modern, industry standard, modular, and clean code. Okay, so it's all about mastery. Again, like I said, you'll be able to pick up any framework or library a lot easier and actually be able to master it in the long run because you won't be stuck on weird magical problems. Okay, you'll have the confidence to build anything with JavaScript, and even if you don't know how to build a certain component or project, you will have the confidence and belief in yourself to be able to logically break down the problem and methodically solve it piece by piece, right? Because there's always going to be projects that you're not going to know how to build right away, but when we go through the algorithmic challenges and do those things, it's going to teach you how to think like a developer, okay? And you'll be confident when you're applying for jobs knowing you can build things from scratch using pure JavaScript and not have to rely on like these tools and frameworks and libraries as a crutch, okay? And the second package is the master. So the master, we go deeper, okay? Now this is when we're going to advanced stuff, and we're thinking about how to write bigger and better applications with scalability, performance, and security. Security is huge, right? You'll start thinking like how a senior developer thinks. Instead of just copying code or just following things, you will have the ability and the confidence to innovate, right? Basically, you're not just going to be a follower, right? You're going to be able to make your own concrete decisions, and you're going to be confident in those decisions instead of having to just search on Google and copy paste. Okay, you'll be able to pick and choose what frameworks are good for certain projects or what libraries are good for certain projects, and you don't get intimidated by any tool, library, framework, or any hot new technology. Okay, you'll be comfortable working with complex algorithmic problems and be able to solve things instinctively without having to frantically search on Google. Okay, so again, we're going to go into more advanced algorithmic challenges. Landing clients, jobs is not going to be an issue. I mean, come on, if you go through this, okay, if you go through scalability, performance, security, and you understand like design patterns and all that stuff, landing jobs and clients is not going to be an issue. Okay, all right, so that's that. Now let's go over the pricing because I know you're curious. So the pricing is going to be the normal, usual pricing is. Oh, before that, I just want to say that I don't do discounts except for early bird offers. Okay, so this is an early bird offer, and you also get bonuses because you're on the webinar. So Pro is $297, Master is $497, but because this is the early bird offer, you're going to get it for $197 and $397, and we have payment plans as well if you want to do that. Okay, so again, I don't offer discounts because I work really hard in my courses. Okay, I have worked on this course for 11 months, and I'm still working on it, and I'm still going to be working on it for the next 3-4 months before version 3 comes along. So that's that, and again, the bonuses you're going to get are bonus number 3. Theme number 1 is this, right? I use this theme to land my first freelancing client, and this is the job portfolio which I used to land my first job. And the bonus number 3, which I didn't put here, which I just thought about would be cool, and because I care, is you get to have, and everybody who takes the action, oh, by the way, everybody who takes the action during the webinar, okay, not later, will get a 5 to 10 minute call with me personally, one-on-one. We're going to get on a call, and we're just going to talk about your future, right? Just talk about anything, okay? So if you think that's worth it, if you don't think that's worth it, then I understand. It doesn't matter. But if you think that's worth it, then you have to join JJJ JavaScript before this webinar ends, but you'll have enough time. Okay, we're going to go into Q&A, and you can ask me all the questions you want and all that. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't want to buy the product. It's okay. It's totally fine, because my goal is to, if you don't like the product, or if you don't think the product is for you, that's fine. As long as you take something away, as long as you, as long as I've helped you in any way, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. All right, that's a big, big W. All right. So those are all the bonuses. So I think that's it, right? So yeah, Q&A. So now you're wondering, where is the purchase button, Tenzin? Where do I go for that? Okay, where do I go for that? And for that, well, what I'll have to do is I'll actually have to get the link active, because, I set everything up myself from scratch. So I have to pull it from GitHub. Not from GitHub. I have to push my changes. So bear with me for just a second, and you shall see the link down below in about, I would say about 30 seconds. Hold on. Git add, git commit, and we have this, git push. I'm going to go on Hyper, my terminal, and I'm going to SSH into my server. Let's go to apps, JavaScript, and git pull. And now it should be live. So refresh your page, and you'll see the link, and it'll take you to the pricing page. Does it work? Yep, all set. All right, let me switch the camera now to my face. My haircut is still, dude, it's still there.
Still good, man.
Your product is so, your hair product is so good, dude.
Thank you.
All right, guys, how many people do we have?
81.
81 people watching. All right, guys, Q&A section. Okay, so refresh the page. Make sure to refresh. Put in the comment, put in the chat. Refresh the page, and you'll see the link. If they're on YouTube, they're not going to see the link. So you want to go back to the page. Okay, that's going to be jabjabjavascript.com/. If you just go to jabjabjavascript.com, you'll be on this landing page, and then you just click on that button, and it'll take you to the page, and on the bottom you'll see the link. Susma says, does the 45, of course, we have a full 45-day full immersion guarantee. Okay, if you don't like the product, or if you don't think JavaScript is helping you, just email me, show me that you have done the work, and that's it. Okay, if you haven't done the work and you're just abusing the guarantee, then just don't do it, right? Just don't do it. I usually just refund it anyways, but I just don't do it, because man, be a good person, man. I work hard in this course, okay? If you guys, I don't know how many of you here have worked on a video, but to make one video, okay, especially like technical videos, especially like how I make videos, I would say 30-minute video for me takes about 5 to 10 hours of work, depending on the edits, depending on how many mistakes I make, depending on the number of cuts. It's hard. Okay, so just don't abuse the 45-day money-back guarantee, but you will have 45 days. Cool. Thought it was free. Sidhu goes, no, it's not free. I have a lot of free content, and I'm going to be uploading tutorials on YouTube as well, so you'll have free content. The link has an error.
That's good. It's loading up.
Hey, Amit says the link has an error. The page blanks after I click the link. Amit, do you have something blocked or something? Because it's working.
You might have an extension or an add-on.
Yeah, maybe you have an extension or something, so make sure to disable it, or use some other browser. How long is the course? Okay, so the course is, again, cohort-based. Okay, so the course is scheduled. The timeline is for about 12 to 15 weeks. However, it's going to keep going because I'm still adding things to it, and the modules are like 22 modules right now, but I'm going to be restructuring it along the way, and at the end, I think by version 3 or version 4, I don't think I'm going to do a version 4. I'm going to be done with by version 3, but once version 3 kicks in, all the whole course is going to be restructured, and it's going to be between 15 to 20 modules, and it should take you about 4 months. Right now, it's still going to take you about I would say like 15 weeks. So that's about 3 months, right? 3-4 months. Yeah. So I would say 4 months of micro modules that you can do and learn at the same time. So there's a reason for that, because I've realized that if I just let people have all the course content, most people don't finish it. And secondly, it's not as interactive, and because there's no schedule, different people are in different sections, and it just doesn't work. When there is a cohort, then there's a sense of camaraderie, and people just go with it. And it also builds accountability. There's a lot of there's science behind it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, there's a method to my madness. Okay, it says I can't see the buy option. It is if you go to the course jabjabjavascript.com/join or jabjabjavascript.com/launch, you'll see the link at the bottom of the page, and you can go there. Or you can also go to jabjabjavascript.com/special-pricing. So put that there, special-pricing, jabjabjavascript.com. Yeah, just copy that link and then paste it there. Write this link and paste it in the chat, and they can see it. When does this cohort start? And is lifetime... Holy crap, there's a lot of questions. Okay, lifetime access, yes. All the updates, the V3 is going to be free for people who join on the V2. Same thing with people who join on the V1, V2 is free for them. And when the product finishes, it's theirs and it's going to be yours, right? Lifetime access. You can do whatever you want with the product. As long as you promise me you're not going to use the product to sell it yourself, or, you know what I'm talking about. When does this cohort start? So the cohort is going to start once the launch ends, and after about a week, after about 5 to 7 days, because I'm gonna get on a call with a lot of people. I'm gonna make sure to set up the Slack group, invite people. Yeah, there's a lot of preparation, and then we start on the same day, right? And it's going to be about 2 weeks from now. So that's good. I don't know what that date is specifically, but I would say between November 10th and November 15th. Because I don't want to start the wrong way. If you start right, then it gets it avoids a lot of issues later on. Keep pasting it, every 2 minutes or something, because people are asking a lot of questions here. Cannot get missed. That doesn't make sense, because that's only if you don't do it. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Check. It's coming in.
It's going in.
Okay. It's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Can we ask any programming related question, or just regarding the course? Zulfikar, you can ask me any question you want. Tenzin, if I get the offer now, do I get a discount of $40 or $100? No, it's $100. The usual price is $297 for the Pro package and $497 for the Master package. Today, the early bird offer is $100 off, and the price is gonna go up in few days, okay? But if you purchase now, you're gonna get the 3 bonuses, right? Bonus number 1, theme. Bonus number 2, the Jab portfolio theme, and bonus number 3 is a 5 to 10 minute call with me personally, on a call, with me, about you. Okay. What if I want to upgrade from Pro to Mastery? Do I just have to pay the difference? Yes, a lot of people have asked me that before in my last launch as well, and a lot of people asked me to upgrade from Pro to Master, and I still haven't created a system that can let me do that easily, but I've just given them access for now. For a few of them, I still haven't responded yet. But once I figure that system out, then yes, I will let you go from Pro to Master. But until then, I'm not going to be able to do that. Domenico says, yes, reviews, testimonials, I will be sending you that in emails in about 1 or 2 days. Yeah, you'll get a testimonial email all about testimonials and case studies of my previous students and how they landed jobs or how it helped them, right? Because there are people who are already developers and they're just trying to improve their JavaScript. Like just yesterday or the day before, a student of mine reached out to me and said, you know, he was going through so much tough time at the job because even though he's been working there for like 4 months, he's had really weak understanding of JavaScript. But after JJJ, it was a lot easier. Like now, you know, he's not as lost and he's able to ask questions at the job more confidently and all that. But again, the reason why I don't put the reviews and all that is because I think it's more important because reviews and all that, like I can always put that, right? But I want the main focus of the course and the focus of the webinar to be more about what the course can do for you, right? And again, I think I should put it on the landing page as well, but I'll send you an email about that as well. Will you be able to upgrade? Yes. Will you be able to upgrade? Yes. I'm in Chicago. Do you think boot camps are still relevant in today's world? Yes. If you have the money for it, just go. But you know, if you're asking that question, there are other alternatives. That's what I'm saying. I actually have a lot of bootcamp students in my course as well, and you know, the course is basically making them a lot more effective and efficient in the way they learn at the bootcamp. But again, I don't want to go too deep into that because I'll be going over that in a more elaborative email. Is that it? Elaborative? Yeah. I'm getting lost here. In this course, more focused towards front end or back end, because you've mentioned that mastery is a good thing. Because JavaScript is mostly front end, you'll how do I say this? Because JavaScript is mostly front end, the course will feel like it's more front end, but we're trying to go deep into JavaScript itself. It's not about back end or front end too much, but it's about JavaScript itself. And of course, we're going to go over how you can use JavaScript in the front end. And in the version 2 of the course, we actually go over Node.js, not to learn the ins and out of Node.js, but to understand the different applications of JavaScript and how it works with the back end. And when we talk about authentication, APIs, and all that, you'll do the front end and back end, is what I'm saying. But JavaScript itself is the focus, not front end or back end. Would you do a paid consultation call to discuss more in-depth questions? I actually used to have a private link where I would, students would be able to contact me for a consultation. I actually was mentoring like 2 students, but I've stopped doing that because I wanted to focus more on JavaScript. But if you want to, shoot me an email and we can talk about it. How often does the course meet? I'm not sure I understand your question, Neha. Again, it's a cohort based and you're gonna get weekly modules. Okay, so basically the first week could be, you know, the basics of JavaScript with introduction to the course and, you know, the how you should think about things, the career advice and all that, getting ready for the course. Second week is going to be, you know, algorithmic challenges. Third week, applying those challenges and projects, basic projects. Fourth week, object, like, you know, you get what I'm saying, right? Like there's a structure to that. So Tenzin, I just purchased the Pro package that needs $79. I get the discount of $40 too, or that's a different story. You get the $40 off if you pay in full. If you pay in full, you get it for $197. If you don't pay in full, it's the convenience fee, right? It's not really the convenience fee, it's the processing fee. And because there's a risk factor, right? Because if your payment fails and all that, I don't really do that. I just do what the industry standard is and I just put it there, okay? But that's just the convenience fee. So if you want to save the money, you have to pay in full. But if you want to do the payment plan, then you'll have to pay a little bit more, but you can pay little by little. I just paid and it's quite unfortunate. Oh, it's quite fortunate that you live a few minutes away from me. Would there be a chance for a one-on-one meeting if I needed buy you dinner? Hey, soft skills are very important. If you send me a very convincing email, we can definitely make it happen. I actually reached out to one of my students who was in Los Angeles, and I was going to meet with him, but he moved to Florida, and I'm like, okay, Florida, I don't have Florida in my schedule, so we won't be able to meet, but we're going to do a call. So convince me, okay? Can you sell me? Can you sell to me that what we're going to be doing is either going to blow your mind away or something? It has to be mutually beneficial is what I'm trying to get at, okay? So email me and we'll see. Do you dive right into coding projects? No, we don't dive right into coding projects. That's stupid. We don't dive right into projects. It's there's levels to this thing, okay? I just purchased and it says it starts August 10th. August 10th. Oh, it's supposed to be November 10th. Sorry, not August. November 10th. Can you put that? November 10th? Start date, course approximate start date, November 10th. Zulfikar says, should I learn Node with Express and other libraries, or should I learn Node with built-in modules first? I am a beginner in Node. I would say learn Node with Express. I have a video on how to become a full stack developer, like full in-depth video that goes and explains each and every technology there is about how to become a full stack developer, okay, full stack development. So I recommend you check that video out later, but to give you a short 30-minute elevator pitch, elevator explanation, learn Node with Express, learn the basic methods, how the front end talks to back end, how client talks to server, and then learn how to do it without Express. And then go back to Express and learn more. Okay? So keep coding. Is it okay to learn JavaScript first instead of learning HTML and CSS? So JavaScript is a programming language, right? So you can definitely learn JavaScript first, right? But because JavaScript is used in the front end and the web, oftentimes it's going to be you're going to have a smoother transition if you learn HTML and CSS first. Okay, I used to think you have to learn HTML and CSS part first, but I've since changed my mind, because if you actually care about programming, starting with JavaScript is fine as well. But if you want a more smoother of a transition, then learn HTML and CSS. Is it okay to learn JavaScript first? You mentioned, I want to join Pro. If I know first what's inside the modules you'll teach us, can you show us? Well, I don't have the syllabus ready to show you, because I mean it's already on the website if you look at the website, you know what I'm saying? And but the modules you're going to get weekly. And if you don't like the modules, you can always come to me within 45 days and just say, Tenzin, your course is whack, yo. Your course is whack, and I'll give you your money back. You mentioned that you had a lot of students coming from boot camps. What was lacking from their experience at the boot camp that you were able to help with? So it's the same story in every boot camp. And having taught many boot campers before, one-on-one, the main struggle, or I would say the biggest thing about boot camp is that they're too fast. they're too fast. And if you watch my video on are boot camps worth it, or should I don't know what I named it, but it's about boot camps, and you should watch it. But basically, you shouldn't be joining a boot camp if you just started coding a week ago. You should be preparing for a boot camp. And a lot of these students, even after they prepare for many months, because they don't spend, people can't spend 10 plus hours, okay? A lot of people can't even sit down on the computer for like an hour and they're trying to get into this field. If you can't do that, it's going to be very hard. And that's the story with a lot of boot campers, right? Yes, they're spending a lot of time at the boot camp, but it's too taxing on the body and the brain. And in such a short amount of time, you're trying to learn everything. And the curriculum is really hard. So what I recommend people is study on your own for 4 to 6 months rigorously, and then join a boot camp, because then at the boot camp you're going to be able to ask more insightful questions and work on bigger projects. When they tell you, hey, work on the project, right? You're going to ask like questions like, hey, how do I go about doing this with a more cleaner approach, more scalable approach, right? How do I make my algorithm efficient rather than just making it work? Please make it work. Just work, right? Because that's what you do when you're learning programming. Because a lot of the things a lot of the times you're just guessing. So it's the speed that's the issue. Okay. Other than that, boot camps are amazing, but if you shouldn't be going there without being ready. All right. I feel like I'm missing a lot of questions here. Hold on. So what is the purpose of asking questions while enrolled in the course? Neha, what do you mean? What is the process of asking questions while enrolled in the course? Am I right about asking that question? I don't quite get it. Like, so what is the process? She asked, so what is the process of asking questions while enrolled in the course? Neha, can you elaborate on that? Because I don't quite understand what you're trying to say by that. Alex goes, thank you, sir. And Alex goes, now that we've talked about costs, tell me, do I need to participate in specific time period per day because we're in different time zone? No, you don't need to. Just because you're in a different time zone doesn't matter, because you're just going to get the modules every week. And you have the whole modules, and we're going to be talking back and forth. And in the course, we have a community, and we're just going to be helping each other out, right? And again, we're JavaScript community is a strong community. And like I said again before, on the Facebook group, Facebook is just not meant for like coding, and it's just not as interactive. Slack is more sexy. It's like it has a lot of things you can do, cool things, and people are like just discovering it, and it's like, wow, this is cool and all that. So it's just a lot more interactive. What's going on? Okay. Are we learning CSS Grid or Flexbox? We are going to go into CSS, but JavaScript is the main theme, or it's the big stone, okay? It's not CSS, but we are going to go over how to write better CSS with like, BEM. Like, I don't know if you know what BEM is, but BEM is an architecture. I can say it's an architecture, but block element modifier, right? So just like how you have design patterns for JavaScript, you have like these patterns of writing CSS code for scalability and maintainability in the long run, right? And that's SMAX, object-oriented CSS, BEM, all that stuff. I have no coding experience. Is learning this doing things out of turn, or does it not matter? I would say, because we have time until now, till November 10th to 15th, I have basic JavaScript course and basic projects, like 3 projects. You learn how to build a unit converter, a timer, a clock, and something else. Rock, paper, scissors game. Okay, so you go through my JavaScript course, beginner course, it's on YouTube, and then you go through my problem solving, which is on YouTube. I have like 20 problem solving. Some of them would be a little too hard, so don't kill yourself over it if you don't understand it. And then go over the projects, and you'll be ready. And I also have full-on, in-depth HTML course. I kind of went a little too crazy on that, overboard on that, and then I also have basic CSS. So if you just watch that, you're all set to go. But you don't really have to watch that for learning basics. But if you like my videos, just watch it. But we do go over JavaScript from the beginning because I want this to be approachable to, you know, even a beginner. Yes, it goes a little bit fast, but it's smooth, if that makes sense. Karen goes, can you buy Pro and then upgrade to Master? Again, I've answered this question already, but you can. However, I don't have a system yet that I can enable that easily. In the last launch, a lot of people actually asked me to do that like a month or two into the course, and I still haven't been able to do it, but I will let them access it soon enough once I figure it out. So my answer is yes, you can later, but not in a while, okay, because I still have to create content for the course, and once I figure out if there's a way to do it with Samcard or my payment system, then I'll be able to do it. Why is this course different from anything from Udemy or Team Treehouse? I actually have a full-on email on that, on why it's different, but you can see a little bit of it on, you can read a little bit of it on the website, why it's for you or why it's not for you, okay? And one of the reasons is because, yes, I can make a Udemy course, I can make a course like Udemy and sell a crap ton more, okay? Way more people will join, but the quality won't be the same. I can, if I wanted to make a sale, I wouldn't make a course on JavaScript. I would make a course on Web Development Bootcamp, okay? And I would teach you everything because it works. The system works, but that's not what I believe in. And that's why I'm doing JavaScript and everything that I do. And I'm spending 11 months on just one course called Jab Jab JavaScript. If you look on Udemy, these instructors are busting out a course every month. There's a new course, like big course. Oh, learn this, learn that, learn that. You can do all of this in one course, a buffet. I'm not into buffets. I don't like buffets. I like quality over quantity. So if I had to give you a 30-second elevator pitch, that would be it. But I'll be sending you an email on why this course is different from other courses. You got to pay the price, man. You got to pay the price. Can you buy Pro? Okay, why is this course any different from Udemy? Yes, Karen. Let's see. Waiting for your YouTube video difference between proto and prototype. So I'm not going to go into it too deep, but proto, the Dunder proto is deprecated. And there's a better way to do this now, but that's with object-oriented programming. That has to do with OOP and JavaScript and how it's prototype-based. I'm sorry. I don't know why. So basically, I might have a video on this. I don't think I have a video on this. I'll consider making a video on that. Snuck. Thanks, and let's see. Why do most developers use Mac OS instead of Windows or Linux distro? I know it's Unix based, but still wondering if there are more reasons to do that. Okay, I'll tell you why. On Windows, I don't think Windows is a very good operating system. Okay, now a lot of people are going to be, oh my God, Windows is so good. Oh my God, Windows is so good. No, Windows is good. I have a really powerful Windows computer here. Okay, it's a Ryzen 2700X, 32 gigs of RAM, dedicated 8 gigs VRAM graphics card. But what do I use for most of my stuff? Mac. I only use it for editing. The reason? Because Mac is fluid. I touch type and I know all the shortcuts. My hand rarely touches the mouse. Everything I do, I do it with my fingers. I don't even have to look, and the shortcut and the layout system of the keyboard and how the operating system works, it is just so fluid, okay? It is just so fluid. The terminal, and when you're especially learning how to code, a lot of the stuff on Mac just works. When you're trying to install something or install a tool or a library from the NPM registry, it just works. It just works a lot of the times. But on Windows, you'll always have to like do something special, right? You always have to do something like to fix it, or oh, on Windows it's because of this and that. That's why it's not working. Okay, so that's why Mac's better. Okay, they're both powerful operating systems, but Mac's just a lot more friendlier for programming. Is what I'm trying to say. For gaming, go with Windows. My friend games a lot, and he has a Windows. I got the Windows computer partially because of that, because sometimes I like a game. And I recently played, what's that game called?
Fortnite.
Not Fortnite. The it's like the cowboy game. It's on the ranch. Like it's like in Texas. Oh man, I forgot what it's called. But it's been a while. But if anybody knows what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. But yeah, I just sound dumb. Okay. How do we ask you questions if we're stuck? Is there a forum for this? So again, the community, right? The Slack. There's a Slack group. It's the Slack channel. And you can ask questions there. So other people who know the answer, they'll answer. And if they don't, they'll answer. Do you have a page for your other paid courses? So right now, my only paid courses, most of my stuff is free. All my YouTube content is free. My free courses are free. Everything is free except for JavaScript. That's the only paid course I have, and I don't want to move on to another course until I make JavaScript right. I don't want to half-ass anything. Okay, as one wise man said, always go with your full ass. Okay, never go half-ass. Let's see. James Lee goes, Tenzin just signed up. Missed out last time offered, but not this time. All in. Come on, man. Let's go. He's like this. Let's go. Welcome, James. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. You might hate me. Who knows? I purchased the $79 still possible to cancel, take it back, and get the $100 discount, mate. If so, till when can I do that? You can just buy the master package and send me an email, and I'll refund you on the pro package. Do we need to have basic JavaScript skills to enroll in the course? Is it necessary to recommend? I would say yes, go through my JavaScript basics on YouTube. I have a whole 6 videos or something that goes over basics like what are variables, if statements, so data types and variables, if statements, for loops, while loops, functions. Yeah, so go through that, and then I have a video series on projects. Like you'll learn how to build a clock, a beautiful clock. You'll learn how to build a beautiful retro unit converter, and you will learn how to build a rock paper scissors game, the best rock paper scissors game. Okay, and if you see clones of that online out there, that's probably from me. I'm just kidding. Okay. Do we need to have basic JavaScript skills? I just purchased the Pro. I'll be going through the whole month of November with no access to computer. Will that be okay during your launch? Yeah, man, you have lifetime access. So if you can't do it right now, you always have it. That's what I'm saying. Namaste from Boston, Tenzin. What's going on, man? Sumit Shukla. You're from Nepal? The master plan note section, do you go in detail, or is it high level overview use of node and MVC setting? Same with React. Is it? The point, again, I want to be very clear on this because it's not a buffet. The reason I'm going into React and Vue is because we touch enough to the point where we understand how these design patterns work in React and Vue and how it helps us write code in a more scalable and maintainable way, right? And how faster. So and the main reason is, like syncing your data with, syncing your state with your UI is really hard, right, in plain JavaScript. And that's why React and Vue exists and Angular exists. And if you don't know what I mean by that doesn't matter. But by the end of this course, you will understand that, right? And you'll be able to pick up React or Vue very easily. Once you understand the core principles of why and how it works. The what is very easy. Like learning how many methods does React have? Like the API is really small. A lot of people have trouble with React, not because of React problem, but because of JavaScript problems. A lot of students will come up to me and go, Tenzin, there's an error in React, right? I help out, even if it's not related to just core JavaScript, I'll help them out. And they'll say, this is not working in React. What is this problem? This is weird. This React problem is making me go insane. And I'm like, that's not a React problem. That's just a JavaScript problem, right? That's just a JavaScript common JavaScript error. And a lot of people hit those walls because they have really weak understanding of the fundamentals, right? You can't build a house on a weak foundation. You're going to collapse when there's a small earthquake or whatever, right? It's just any recipe, any algorithm has to be testable and scalable, right? When you scale it, if it breaks, it's not a good solution. Is what I'm saying. And mastering and going in depth is the approach I'm taking with JavaScript, and same thing with the Node, right? The Node, we're not trying to learn how to build a whole application, full-blown application with Node.js, but more so, how does this client and server work, and how does JavaScript play into Node, and what is Node, and why do we use Node, or how are we able to do, non-blocking I/O, input-output operations with Node. So basically, we're going to learn about the why and how instead of the what. The what, you can always learn from like YouTube or, just build a project, just going through some project course. But right now, I don't have any plans to build any other courses. But once I'm done with JavaScript, I will be working on a Node course that goes in depth into how to create a web app. Again, it's going to be a more in-depth course. Again, just about Node and how to, very project-based, right? Because if you understand JavaScript, then learning Node is going to be pretty easy. Let's see. What is your email? My email is tenzin@whatsdev, or you can do support@whatsdev. Link is not working anymore.
Yeah, the timer expired.
But I'm still answering questions. So what I'm going to do is extend the link. Okay? Extend the link for a little bit. But initially, I took a little bit too long on the webinar because we had some issues with the technical difficulties. So I'm just going to reset the time to... Let's see, 1:30, 1 p.m. Right now, what is it?
It's 12:39.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Is it working now?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I just fixed it. So let me know if you guys can access it. Billy Tran just put support@whatsdev.com. Jeannie goes, bought your pro course. Welcome, Jean. If I'm saying that right. Jean. Yeah, you won't be disappointed, and you can definitely push the master later once I set up the system. What is your email? I used the wrong email signing up and would like to change it. Support@whatsdev. Link is not working anymore. It should be working now. Can you extend the countdown a bit? Was in the middle of keying the checkout expired. Yes, I just did it. Extended the time. I think the timer just went off. Red Dead Redemption 2. What is that?
That's the game that you're talking about.
No, it's not that. It's I just had it. It was at the tip of my mouth. Tip of my tongue. Oh! Like you fly the chopper and man, that's...
You sure you're not talking about GTA?
Not GTA. No, not GTA. It's Far Cry 5. Yeah, Far Cry 5. Your purchase link is throwing error. Yes, that's because you missed it, but I extended it, so you should be good, Neha. I made a mistake. I choose a payment plan instead of paying the full. That's okay. What you can do is, shoot me an email. You can buy the master package and shoot me an email, and I'll refund you for the pro. Is there any new buy link that helps? Thanks, man. Yeah, from KTM. Thanks for all the videos. Owe you so much. Owe you some momos, man. I'm gonna get some momos. I haven't had momos in a long time, man. Momo is this dumpling, like Tibetan dumpling, like Tibetan and Nepali dumpling, and we yeah, it's pretty, it's good, man. It's good.
Go get it.
We gotta go get it. There are no places in Chicago, man. I mean, there are.
You can probably Google.
There are places. Yeah. I'm just being lazy. A lot of the times. Alex Pastos goes, I'm also getting courses from edX about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I find them decent. What's your opinion about edX courses? I remember taking edX courses back in like 2013, 2014, so I don't know how they are now, but at that time it was pretty good, but it could be better. But I think it does the job, right? If you go through like many resources and all that, but make sure to go through a book, right? Even with the JavaScript, I always recommend people to go through a book, and yeah, a book is a must. You mentioned about the 15 weeks period. Is that for the pro or the master? So right now, the pro and the master is packaged differently. So they're about the same time, but master is packaged in a more designed for the master package. You know what I'm saying? And I'm adding even more things to the master versus the pro. So it's a little different, but they're still going to take the same amount of time, right, for now, but it's going to change. And I'm thinking about my ultimate goal is to make it into 4 months and pack it into 4 months, but right now, as the schedule is going, it could take up to 6 months, but this not for this cohort, but for the next cohort, it could take up to 6 months. Right now, it's still about 15 weeks to 16 weeks. So it's going to change because, again, rapid evolution, JavaScript is not done. That's why it's version 2. It's like, think about it as, alpha, beta, and then V3 is where it's going to be, I think, polished and finalized and really like pristine, but right now it's sort of like you guys are believing in me and giving me the chance to prove myself, but by the time you get there, I'll be done with V3. That's my basically. Okay, what book do you recommend? Okay, so I have a video on that, but I think I've gone through the new books as well, so I would say for a beginner, go with You Don't Know JavaScript by Chris Kyle. Is it Chris Kyle? No, Kyle Simpson? I always butcher his name. But Kyle Simpson, I believe, he's a cool guy. I love his book because for a beginner, he goes through things in a very friendly way and explains things in a way that a beginner can understand, right? Kyle Simpson, there you go. And when I put myself in beginner's shoes, I'm like, yeah, they can understand that. So I recommend that book. After that, Eloquent JavaScript, the version 3 one, okay? I think version 2 or version 3, the newest one, basically. Go to the website, it's free. The first book is free as well. And then after that, I would say Effective JavaScript. But go through first book, one book first, okay? One book first properly. The key word here is properly. If you don't go through a book properly, it doesn't matter how many books you go through. It's not about the number of books you go through. It's about what book you go through properly and implement and actually understand, right? Because information is plenty, right? Abundant. It's all about taking the action, like actually understanding it and then implementing it, right? Go cover to cover and understand it, and you will. Going through a book is probably the best thing you can do as a person who's learning coding, okay? And of course, it's not one book is not going to just make you a developer magically. Okay, you also need to implement those problem solving. You also need to build projects. You also need to take many angles, right? Learn it from different angles. But a book is going to give you that structure, right? And that's why in JavaScript, the structure is very similar to that. Instead of trying to learn too many things, it's one thing. And when you're trying to learn one thing deeply and you can understand one thing deeply, then everything around it just becomes a lot easier. Okay, learning React becomes easier, learning Vue.js easier, Node easier. Yeah, like if you ask any senior developer, they'll tell you that to learn vanilla JavaScript first. Fundamentals, principles. And the reason why is because you can teach somebody the tactics if they know the principles and if they have a strong foundation. But, you know, somebody who just knows how to use React methods on a very high level, surface level, without understanding core JavaScript, they're bound to mess up, right? They're gonna make $1 million errors because of their code, and they're not gonna be able to fix it, right? They'll have to Google every time they're like, what is this problem? Because they don't have strong foundations in JavaScript. The JS John Duckett book is really good. Anna says the JS John Duckett book is really good. The John Duckett book was my very first book, HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and I loved it. Okay, and I loved it because it was such high quality, right? The paper and the visuals are so good, and it explains in a really good way. But in terms of just solid explanation and I don't know how you say this, like, it's good, but for me, you don't know JavaScript is above that because it's deeper than the John Duckett book is what I'm trying to say. And yeah. Can you list them? Can you list the book's titles here? Hey, can you list the book titles there?
Sure.
I can just do it. What am I saying? Okay, one is You Don't Know JavaScript. Second is, what did I say? You Don't Know JavaScript. And the second is Eloquent JavaScript. And the third one is going to be JavaScript. Nope, Effective JavaScript. Ahmed goes, is it possible to get a job after the course? Any of your students achieve this? Yes, we have students who landed jobs because of the course. And I'll be sending you an email of all the testimonials and reviews and case studies and all that. But please, okay, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee you a job because of the course. I'll never do that. Because if you put in the work, it's impossible for you to not be successful in anything in life. But a lot of people, what they do is they'll look at the tip of the mountain and they'll forget, they'll just completely ignore the climb. So instead of thinking about the job, think about what do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do for a week in order to get that? And I think if you go about it in that way, you're more likely to succeed. So yes, it's going to help you get a job, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a magic pill and it's just going to get you a job like this, right? It just doesn't work like that. You have to learn other parts of this. This is just the technical side, right? But how about soft skills? Because a lot of the jobs and a lot of these clients, it's face to face, right? It's about how you make them feel. It's not just about what you have written down with your code, with your hands. It's really about how you make them feel. You have to learn soft skills, is what I'm saying. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a magic pill, but it's definitely going to help you land a job. Will you be sending us the course videos weekly via email? No, you will have your own course platform. I was going to use my own platform, but I realized that in order to do that, it's very, as a programmer, it's very hard for me to just build something from scratch if I don't really need it, right? If I can leverage other people's solutions so that I can focus better on what I do best, I think that's the definition of a programmer, right? Leveraging tools. And a lot of people say, oh, well, dependencies are not good. Dependencies are good because we need dependencies, okay? The reason why you walk to the grocery store without any armor and a gun is because you trust the society enough that nobody will shoot you and kill you, right? There are societies and there are neighborhoods where that happens a lot, but for the most part, we trust the system. We depend on the system, right? So dependencies are good, is what I'm saying. And I just forgot the point why I was talking about that in the first place. But that's okay because I'm used to being lost. Lost Stars. That song is really good. Which you don't know JavaScript book is it? Kyle has several on Amazon. Oh, it's a series of books. He has like really that's another reason why I like it, because he has a series. It's like he starts from, what does he start from? I forgot, but he starts from really basic ones and then he goes into like closures and scopes, and then he'll go into like object-oriented programming, or he'll go into like functional programming. You know what I'm saying? Like he has like different topics for each like little micro book. If you want to get the free one, go to GitHub and it's for free. But if you want to pay, I think you should pay, because when you pay for something, you are more likely to do it. Statistically, okay? I'm not just saying it. When you pay for that book, you are 10 times more likely to actually use it and get it done than if you just get it for free. It's just, our human brain is so dumb, right? When we get things for free, we just don't value it, right? I tell my friend, one of my friends, I'll help him, dude, you have me, I'll help you shorten your path by at least a year, right? If not many years. I'll show you exactly what to do. But he'll never listen to me. And that's just because I'm his friend. And that's just how life is, right? And think about parents, right? They want the best for their kids, but every kid ever, okay, they'll always hear it, like they'll listen from one ear and it'll just go, out the other. How's it going? All right, cool. What is advice to me since I'm a bit new to web dev? Learn the fundamentals and keep coding every day consistently. That's the best tip that I have for you. This course for me, if I don't know JS at all, I would say learn JavaScript basics online through my JavaScript basics series on YouTube. But we do go over it from the beginning. But if you want a more smoother transition, go watch my videos and do the projects that I have. It's free on YouTube, okay? They're really good projects. Alex, don't use Dreamweaver, okay? Here's what I'm saying. Dreamweaver is so 2011, 2010. But if you like it, use it. And if you are productive with it, then use it, okay? It's the best editor is not the one you get, but the one you master. The same thing with languages, the same thing with technologies. The best thing is, not the languages you know or learn, but the one you master. And that's why JJJ, okay? What's your opinion on it? Love to receive the email list and the course stats just for information purpose only. Sure, James Lee. All right, guys. I think the questions are slowing down a bit. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to ask me any questions you guys have, and I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, so I've had a lot of fun. And are you getting any questions? I don't see any questions. I see a lot of questions up top. I'm sure I've missed a lot. There's a lot of questions here. There are a lot of questions here. How many people in the live stream?
39.
39, okay, yeah. Which editor is great for Mac OS? For Mac, I use VS Code, but you can use Sublime Text, Atom, but I use VS Code. Since I don't have a Mac, can I use Windows for now? Of course you can use Windows. I used the Windows because I couldn't afford a Mac when I started programming, so you can definitely use a Windows. You can also even install Linux on it, and Linux is pretty cool if you want to learn it. There's nothing to learn. It's very simple. Can someone learn your course without going through the YouTube Basic, thinking about gifting your course to someone to elevate their game? I would say if you are paying $500, $300, $400, like $397, $197, might as well go through the free stuff, right? Smoother transition. So yes, they can, but I would advise them to start from there, because it's going to be a lot smoother of a transition. And in the beginning, you want things to be smooth. You don't want things to be going like this. Bill Master goes, will this course make me job ready? Hey Bill, I have answered this question already. Can somebody answer the question for Bill? I'm kidding, I'll do it. Okay, again, the same thing, the same answer. This course is not a magic pill that's just gonna give you a job, okay? You will have to do your own work. You will have to do your own research. You will have to solve your own problems as well on top of what we do in the course. You will have to build a lot more projects on top of what we build in the course. If you just think that just doing what's in the course and just touching it and getting it done, like, oh, I got done with that module. If that's your attitude, you're not gonna, forget a job. You're not gonna understand JavaScript. But understand that life is not, if you want to understand JavaScript, the road, the path, your chart, if I put it in a graph, it's not going to look like this. It's not going to look steady like this. It's going to be more like, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then finally getting on top. Okay, you have to fall a lot before you can get there. So my point is, you have to do your own work. And if you do the work, it's impossible for you to not be successful and get a job. So it will definitely prepare you to get a job, but you will have to do the work. Because a lot of people, buy courses for money, right? They go to school because they're like, oh, I want to become this. But they don't do it with passion. Like they don't do it for themselves, but they do it because, oh man, I gotta have a career. I gotta have a career. Instead of saying, I actually like what I'm doing and I wanna make the time to spend doing that every day. So if you have that attitude, you will be, with or without the course, you'll learn how to make it, right? You'll make it. But if you don't have it, with the course or without the course, it's not gonna happen. Anna goes, Tenzin, how long are the course videos? I have video, in the beginning, the intro videos about like mindset and all those videos are going to be short, like 10 minutes. And later, when we get to the stuff, then it gets deep. And especially when we get to the projects, a lot of my videos are like 20, 30, 40 minutes long. Some go really deep, right? Because if I break it down too much, what starts happening is it's not going to be as smooth. What you want is, so I break it down depending on the feature that I'm implementing. So for example, if it's a project, then one video, we're going to focus on one module, like one JavaScript module, right? And then that's going to be implementing that whole module, and then we move to the next module. So some of the videos are like 30-minute long, 40-minute long, but I would say the average is about 15 to 20 minutes. I don't have that stat. I should. That's a really good question. Enough with this Q&A. Let's code. Sorry if you went through this, but I was just wondering if you mentioned the roadmap. What do you mean by the roadmap? What roadmap?
It's like a structure.
If you want to look at the roadmap, you can see it on the website. You can view the website, jabjabjavascript.com. I love to code, but only have 3 to 5 hours a day to code. Is that sufficient? Yes, Bill Master. 3 to 5 hours is amazing. Okay, I had to spend 15 plus hours days because I didn't know discipline, and I was just really weak at managing my time, and I just hit a low point, and because of survival, I did that, but that's not how it works for most people, right? Most people have jobs. Most people have families, and they go home at like 5 p.m. and they have to spend time with their family, and they have maybe 2-3 hours. But if you spend 2-3 hours every single day, you'll make it happen in like 6 to 8 months, right? I'm never going to tell you that you can become land a job or become great at something in 3 months or 4 months. It's just not possible. There are people who've done it, but again, it's an anomaly, and the world doesn't run on exceptions. It's yeah, you get my point. Okay, a time-tested, proven roadmap that anyone can follow to guarantee their success as a developer. Clayton goes, oh, that's the roadmap. The roadmap is the structure of the course, and we also have a roadmap. I also have a roadmap on the, what's it called? A PDF of roadmap, a visual diagram of roadmap that's in the course as well. But if you want, by that, what I was saying, what I was referring to was really the course outline. And on top of that, if you really want the roadmap, go watch my video on how to become a full stack developer or a front end developer. I go more in depth there. Pooja goes, their very first JavaScript book. Sure, you don't know JavaScript. Done. Now start, okay? Don't think about any other book. Just start and stick with it for at least the first 4 months. Aaron goes, how does this work? Is it at my own pace, or is it a structured course with specific timelines? It is a structured course with specific timelines. Will this live event be on your channel, or will you remove it? No, it won't be on my channel, because this is for people who are in the wait list. This is for the people who are in the JavaScript wait list only. That's why it's never going to be on the website. And I will have the replay link sent to people who couldn't make it here, but they just won't get the bonuses. And yeah, they'll get the replay link, and I'll delete the replay link after about a week. Adam goes, I want to start freelance and do web development for clients. I have some basics, but I want to master stuff and enjoy what I'm doing. Will this portfolio presentable for a first client? Yes, you can definitely present that portfolio. But if you're trying to freelance, what I would also say is learn marketing, learn how to sell, because so many people try to freelance, and the biggest thing that they lack is sales skills and actual business skills. And they think, oh, if I just do this, if I just focus on my business card, if I just focus on the domain name, they focus on the wrong things, okay? You should be focusing on getting leads. And yeah, businesses care about results. So if your skills are there, now you have to convince them that your skill is valuable to them and how you can help them, increase their sales, or with the website, how it can help them save time, right? There are many ways, there are many directions to tackle that. In the same way, why I'm doing this webinar is because really I'm trying to convince you to buy my product, right? And if I don't believe in my product, and again, you have to have the skills, you have to have a good product, or else you're not going to have the conviction and you're not going to believe in the product enough to be able to sell well, right? So that's another part. Business is 80% soft skills and 20% technical skills. And this is not coming from me. This is coming from people like Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett, like all these tycoons. And if they're saying it, there's a reason for that, okay? And I agree with that statement 100%. Anna goes, the learning will be on our own. I mean, will we be sending the course projects so you can review them? You won't be sending the course so you can review them, but you'll get the projects. Basically, it's a module like course, and you get modules with videos and worksheets, and you just follow that module and work on the projects. But by what I'm saying by learning on your own is because doing that itself, just on its own, is not enough, is what I am saying, okay? No one thing in this world is going to make you anything in life, is what I'm saying. You have to learn different things from different angles. However, JavaScript, it's going to give you that one structure, right? It's like a dashboard, right? It's the main structure that you're going to have, and once you know how to build a certain project, then you should be building one or two projects of your own similar to that project, is what I'm saying, before moving on to the next project. And the same thing, that's why I say stick with one book and go cover to cover and make sure you understand and implement all those exercises or whatever it is, right? So for example, if a book is going through like closures, make sure you understand closures. And if it gives you an example, then think about, oh, how can I apply this example in another example, in a similar example, right? So look for those like problems online and then try to solve them, learning what you just learned from here. If you don't do this workflow, this approach, if you don't take that approach, and if you just do enough, you're going to forget it, is what I'm saying. You got to learn things on your own as well. I'm a bootcamp graduate and I feel like I didn't grasp enough to create my own code or feel comfortable. How are your teachings going to be different, similar to theirs? First of all, I know exactly what you're talking about, because that's the same thing every bootcamper students have told me, right? Even after they graduate, they go to a job and they have imposter syndrome because they're like, Tenzin, I'm at this job, but I just don't feel like I know enough. I just feel like I'm just hacking things together, right? And the reason why is because you didn't have the time to spend enough time on the core principles, right? Because it's like, first week is JavaScript and like they go over, it's crazy there. Like the first week is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Second week is object-oriented programming, and that's it. And then third week is learning React and Redux. And then fourth week is Vue.js. Fifth week is Node.js. And then sixth week is like learning about advanced database management. It just doesn't work like that, right? Yes, you'll be able to do it and you'll be able to make sense of it after going through it and struggling with it enough after 3 months. But you're just gonna have like really flaky, weak, surface level knowledge, and that's totally understandable. But this course, again, you'll have weekly modules that are carefully designed not to overwhelm you, but give you enough information that you can digest and have enough time to research and actually learn, have your own time to learn and do more of the same thing, and then move on to next module, and then move on to the other module. And then when we learn about, maybe like doing projects with object-oriented programming, I give you enough, like one project a week, and then you'll learn the structure, the design pattern we use. And if you finish it early, you have time to work on another project or something similar and to solidify that knowledge, right? And then we work on the next project. So the pacing is one thing. Second thing is it's focused on one language versus like trying to do everything and learn everything. Aaron, welcome, Aaron. I will see you in the course. Billy Tran goes, thanks for keeping it 100 and real. That's what I'm going for. That's why the course is called the no bullshit JavaScript course. Okay. Some people probably just left after they saw that. They're like, what is this? I'm getting out of here. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I've had a lot of fun. Every time I do live Q&A, that's my favorite part, even more so than like the slides and all that. I just have to do it because like that's what I learned from marketing, and they're like, you got to do it. It's a launch part and all that, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, but I enjoy the Q&A way more than doing that. So I hope you guys learned something, even people who are not in the course. I hope you guys took something away, and I wish you luck. And for those of you who joined, thank you. Thank you for believing in me, and I will see you in the course, and I'll be emailing you shortly. Probably not shortly. I'll email you in a few days, and we'll get on a call. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you in the next video.